Negotiators from Russia, Ukraine and the United States met in Abu Dhabi for the first direct talks. Negotiations revolved around a peace proposal being advanced by US President Donald Trump to end nearly four-year-old war in Ukraine. The US plan has faced criticism from multiple sides. Earlier drafts were condemned in Kyiv and Western Europe for aligning too closely with Moscow's position, while later versions drew objections from Russia over suggestions that European peacekeepers could be deployed. Ahead of the talks, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the question of territory remains the central obstacle. Moscow continues to demand that Ukraine withdraws its forces from the eastern Donbas region. Ukraine, which still controls about 20% of the region, has firmly rejected the demand. After the first day of negotiations, Ukraine's chief negotiator, Rustem Umerov, said discussions focused on the framework for ending the war and the next steps in the negotiation process. He confirmed that talks are scheduled to continue today. The president of Ukraine commented on the results of the first day of the trilateral talks.
It is still too early to draw conclusions about the content of today's negotiations. We will see how the talks go tomorrow and what the results will be. It is necessary that not only Ukraine wants to end this war and achieve complete security, but that a similar desire somehow arises in Russia as well.
The United Arab Emirates Foreign Ministry said the two-day meeting is part of ongoing efforts to encourage dialogue and find a political solution to the conflict. The talks follow a series of high-level diplomatic engagements. President Trump met President Zelensky at the World Economic Forum in Davos on Thursday, while U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff later held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. The Abu Dhabi talks come as fighting continues on the ground. At a battered power plant, snow covered a wreckage as workers huddled beside barrel fires to stay warm. Rolling power outages remain in effect across regions including Kyiv, Kharkiv and Odessa following repeated attacks on key energy facilities. The European Union accused Moscow of deliberately targeting civilians and said it was sent hundreds of generators to Ukraine. Russian strikes overnight have killed one person and injured at least 15 others in Ukraine's capital Kyiv and in the northeastern city of Kharkiv. This is according to Ukrainian authorities. Russian and Ukrainian negotiators last met face-to-face in Istanbul last summer in talks that produced only prisoner exchanges. The Abu Dhabi talks mark their first direct engagement of the Trump administration's peace initiative. President Putin has warned that Russia will seek full control of eastern Ukraine by force if negotiations fail. While a Kremlin aide said Moscow is interested in a diplomatic resolution, he also said Russia will continue pursuing its objectives on the battlefield until an agreement is reached. President Trump this week said he believes both leaders are close to a deal, but warned that failure to reach an agreement would be a mistake for both sides. In a related development, a tanker suspected of being part of Russia's sanctions evasion shadow fleet is being escorted to the French port of Marseille a day after it was intercepted by naval forces.